Hey guys, this is EckhartsLadder here with another Star Wars Legends lore video. Now, as many of you know, tomorrow is a big day. I will finally be releasing Battle of the Dreadnoughts, the short film I've been working on with E.C. Henry. I've been busy working on the final touches for the last few days, and I'm excited to share the video with you. On that note, I've decided that it will be going live at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. That's 1 p.m. Pacific, and if you're confused about what time that is, just Google 4 p.m. Toronto time to blank and insert your city. Anyway, I bring that up not only to let you guys know when to expect the video, but also to explain why today's is a bit more casual and off the cuff. Not quite a rambling video, but almost. Today, we'll be talking about the 5 largest defense fleets in Star Wars. However, to keep things interesting, I have a little twist. I won't be looking at cases where the defensive fleet was furnished by the Republic, the Empire, or the New Republic in order to protect their capital. Rather, I'll be looking at situations where the planet or system itself furnished its own defenders. So, for example, the Coruscant defensive fleet, which was almost always made up of a substantial portion of the reigning galactic government's navy, or the BIS defense fleet, which was really just Palpatine's navy protecting a specific planet, will not be included. I know that's kind of a weird distinction, but what I'm really looking for is powerful, quasi-independent military forces. At number 5 is the CORELLIAN defense fleet. But one thing I should mention is not to pay too much attention to numbers. It's almost hard to rank these various defensive forces just because they differ in size and power throughout the years. Anyway, in Star Wars Legends, Corellians were known, like Han Solo, for being spunky, independent, and very willing to go to war. What's more, Corellians were known for being some of the best shipbuilders in the galaxy. Corellian-built Star Destroyers were among the best in the Imperial Navy, and Corellian-designed freighters, frigates, and more were commonly used and known for their longevity. By the Second Galactic Civil War, the system of 5 planets was also making cutting-edge starfighters. The 5 brothers of Corellia were also blessed with a strange weapon, Centerpoint Station. Although Centerpoint remained dormant throughout much of galactic history, it was harnessed in 16 ABY by Thraken Solo and used to destroy distant stars and planets. By 40 years after the Battle of Yavin, Corellia was militarizing beyond GFFA regulations. They were creating a second fleet in secret, anchored not only by Centerpoint Station, but also several new Corellian dreadnoughts, extremely powerful vessels. The power wielded by Corellia was enough to threaten galactic stability, and the secondary fleet provided not only exceptional defense, but even the ability to strike back against protectors. And it was because of this, and Corellia's incredible military spending, that the galaxy would fall into a second galactic civil war. At number 4 is Mon Calamari, and this one is difficult. I specifically said that I want to avoid systems which had their defenses furnished by the government of the day. Mon Calamari is a weird one because at the height of the New Republic, perhaps 5% of the galactic government's budget was dedicated to Mon Cal shipbuilding. I included on this list really because of the fact that Mon Calamarians were able to successfully throw off the chains of their imperial oppressors, and even more impressively, make a force strong enough that the Empire was dissuaded from attacking the system directly for almost half a decade until the Battle of Endor. It's really impressive how they did this as well. They essentially took ships which were being produced for other purposes, hid R&D for laser, hyperspace, and shield development in what appeared to be innocent purposes, then basically pushed the Empire out of their system after strapping some guns and armor onto their ships. After that, the shipyards went into basically full production and didn't stop. Not only were Mon Calamari cruisers and frigates continually pushed out, but the shipyard also provided much of the Alliance's starfighters, and it's this industrial capacity, as well as the extremely hard-working nature of the Mon Calamarians and their ability to recover from disaster, that gives them the number 4 spot. At number 3, we have the Hapes Consortium. And the Hapes Consortium ruled 63 planets in the Hapes cluster. an area which was largely isolated from the rest of the galaxy through the transitory mists. For thousands of years, HAPES kept its border closed, developing its own technology and starships in isolation. During this time, the 63 planets of the HAPES cluster developed thousands of HAPAN battle dragons, as well as many support ships. While battle dragons weren't incredible ships, they worked extremely well in large numbers, and large numbers were often available. For example, Prince Isolder's honor guard from the courtship of Princess Leia was made up of one ship from every planet. The HAPANs defended their territory from the Empire, they won battles against the Yuuzhan Vong, though were also decimated at the Battle of Fondor, and were a major part of the Second Galactic Civil War. The relative military power would have been increased after the Yuuzhan Vong War, as they secured the better turbolaser technology of the New Republic. However, as their borders opened, they suffered major military losses, which prevented the Navy from really gaining massive amounts of strength. At number 2, we have the forces of the KUAT system. KUAT, of course, was the most prolific starship manufacturer in the entire galaxy. Now, it's also fairly difficult to separate KUAT from the Empire and the New Republic, so I want to focus on the Republic era. And truly, the 1,000 years or so before the Clone Wars were the era of defense fleets. The New Republic wasn't supplying ships, and planets were expected to watch out for their own interests. This had an interesting effect on KUAT, because not only were they dedicating more resources to protecting their home, but they were also advertising ships for sale. Massive Mandator dreadnoughts and smaller battlecruisers were basically parked in the system for buyers to look at, to show the true military power of KDY. Although the Ruusan Reformation would limit things like their weaponry and their hyperdrive capability, it's very likely that these limitations were skirted, and that KDY had a massive amount of ships regardless. Much of KUAT's military was basically taken by the Republic as the Clone Wars began. Of course, we get to the Galactic Civil War, and it's hard to figure out where the KUAT Defense Force stops and the Imperial Navy begins. However, we do know that when the New Republic attacked and captured the planet, much of the Imperial forces had actually retreated to the deep core, and what remained seemed to be the private elements of the fleet, including a single-star dreadnought, several battle cruisers, and also several star destroyers. KUAT certainly has the highest potential of any faction on this list. It had the plans for all of the Empire's dreadnoughts, most of their star destroyers and smaller craft, and it had unmatched industrial capability. At number 1, and this might be a controversial pick, we have the CHISS Defense Force. The CHISS were the most powerful faction in the unknown regions. Although they had full colonies on only 28 planets, they had a degree of influence and control over thousands of star systems, as explained by the Essential Atlas. The CHISS are so powerful because they live in the most dangerous part of space, facing off against the Killiks, the Vigari, and many other unknown threats. However, the power of the CHISS increased after the dissolution of the Empire of the Hand, Thrawn's quasi-empire in the unknown regions, which they absorbed in 19 ABY. The CHISS hybridized Imperial and CHISS technology to make new star destroyers, fighters, and military equipment, which was highly efficient and powerful. And hundreds of star destroyers were brought to bear against the Killiks in the Swarm War, which threatened to lead the galaxy towards total annihilation, at least as seen by Jason Solo. The CHISS are incredibly brutal, intelligent, and efficient. The rest of the galaxy should be very thankful that they generally are isolationist and do not believe in or promote undeserved acts of aggression. Anyway guys, that is my top 5 list. I want to hear what you think. Of course, there were many other entries that I could have slotted in, including the Bakurans or the Sairuvi, the Bothui Defense Force, especially as it existed in the New Republic era, perhaps N'Zoth and the Duskon League at its prime, and I'm sure many more. But that's all I have to say. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Again, Battle of the Dreadnoughts, tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. I really hope you guys enjoy what I've put together. It's been a labor of love, but I guess we'll see tomorrow. Until then, this has been EckhartsLadder. As always, may the Force be with you.